If you want to propose a new idea, such as a new technique for analyzing data or preparing a report, use an initiative conversation. If you want to propose adding a new patio to your back of your house or installing a new computer program for scheduling projects, use an initiative conversation. If you want to propose restructuring your department or creating a new performance management system, use an initiative conversation. We use initiative conversations whenever we want to propose a new idea, launch a project, or initiate some type of change. The new idea may be large and complex, involving many people and stretching well into the future, such as Kennedy wanted to do in landing a man on the moon and returning him safely. It could also be relatively small and personal, such as proposing a monthly night out at a new restaurant to your spouse or significant other, or even to your friends. The purpose of an initiative conversation is to open up a new possibility for something that is currently not being done. It makes a new future possible, and it creates a context for the work we're going to do going forward. An initiative conversation uses the accomplishment ingredients that specify the what, when, and why of our proposal or recommendation. The what ingredient states as clearly as is possible at the time what we want to see happen. For example, this statement gives us a specific what. I propose we adopt the ABC performance management system. The what being proposed is the adoption of the ABC performance management system. The when element states the time by when you think your idea could or should be accomplished. For example, this statement adds a proposed time. I propose we adopt the ABC performance management system and have it in place by the end of next year. The when is by the end of next year. The why element is perhaps the most important because it states why you think the proposal matters or the difference you think it would make. For example, this statement includes a why. I propose we adopt the ABC performance management system and have it in place by the end of next year. The new system will make it easier for people to know what is expected of them and eliminate much of the confusion that currently exists. The why is because the system will be easier for people to know what is expected of them and less confusing for them. An example of a daring initiative conversation is evidenced in President Kennedy's speech to a joint session of Congress in May of 1961.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth. No single space project in this period will be more impressive to mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space, and none will be so difficult or expensive to accomplish. Let it be clear, and this is a judgment which the members of the Congress must finally make, let it be clear that I am asking the Congress and the country to accept a firm commitment to a new course of action, a course which will last for many years and carry very heavy costs. If we are to go only halfway or reduce our sights in the face of difficulty, in my judgment, it would be better not to go at all.
The what that Kennedy wanted to accomplish was landing a man on the moon and returning him safely. Notice how complete that this is. It's not simply land a man on the moon or land a man on the moon and get him back, because you could do both of those things and not have him return safely. He is very clear on what he wants. Land a man on the moon and return him safely. When he wanted this accomplished was before this decade is out. That means up until 11:59 on December 31st, 1969. Imagine if he had not specified a time frame. How would Congress or the country know when to do this? He certainly couldn't have said, when you have the time, or as soon as possible, or when you get around to it, or when it's convenient. Although he could have been more precise, this timeline is appropriate given the scale and complexity of the project that he's proposing. Why he wanted to accomplish it was because it would be impressive to mankind and important for the long-range exploration of space. Few of us will have initiatives as grand as the one proposed by President Kennedy. Ours are likely to look somewhat less complex and in a shorter time frame, like this one. I recently read about a new programming technology that appears to address the very problems we are having. Given our current situation, I propose we bring in a developer within the next 2 weeks and explore how we can implement the technology here. If it works as advertised, it could cut significant time off our development schedule, allowing us to come in ahead of schedule and below cost. It would also give us a new capability going forward. I think it's worth it. The what in this proposal is that we bring in the developer and find out how we can implement the technology here. The when is within the next 2 weeks. And the why is to cut significant time off our development schedule, allowing us to come in on time and below cost with new capabilities. It's important to note that an initiative conversation is more than a suggestion. There is no "I'm just saying" with an initiative conversation. It is a genuine proposal or recommendation that you believe in and are willing to support and to continue working for. Initiative conversations are also more than a wish about something you would like to see happen someday. Saying, for example, "I would love to take a cruise of the Mediterranean and visit Italy and Greece," is not an initiative conversation. It's a wish. Saying, "I propose to someone that you want to go with that we take a cruise of the Mediterranean this fall and visit Italy and Greece to see the art and architecture, enjoy the food, and take a well-deserved vacation," is an initiative conversation. You are proposing that something happen at some time in the future. It speaks for something you want and something you have given some thought to defining. Initiative conversations speak for a possible future. They are always proposals or recommendations for something that could become a reality. It could be a vision for reaching a goal, a way to implement a plan, or an idea to undertake a project. And it always includes a time frame for accomplishment and a reason or benefit for undertaking whatever it is you're proposing. Complete initiative conversations give everyone a big picture sense of what, when, and why a particular future can be made real. It provides a context or frame to help make sense of all the many activities and communications that are yet to come. Let me give you an example of what I mean by context. Take a minute and read the paragraph on the next slide and see how much sense it makes to you. A newspaper is better than a magazine. A seashore is a better place than a street. At first, it is better to run than to walk. You may have to try several times. It takes some skill, but it is easy to learn. Even young children can enjoy it. Once successful, complications are minimal. Birds seldom get too close. Rain, however, soaks in very fast. Too many people doing the same thing can also cause problems. One needs lots of room. If there are no complications, it can be very peaceful. A rock will serve as an anchor. If things break loose from it, however, you will not get a second chance. For most people, this set of sentences makes no sense. They appear almost random and don't fit together into a coherent or sensible whole. They lack a context. But what happens when we add the title "kite" to the slide? Now when you read the paragraph, it makes sense. The sentences fit together and add up to something that makes sense. That is the power of context and the power of initiative conversations. They create a context that people can return to when they get so far into the details of their work that they forget why they are doing what they are doing. Initiative conversations are more effective when they speak for what you do want than talking about what you don't want. There is a difference between saying, "I want 100% attendance," and saying, "I don't want any absences." Saying what you do want, what you are for, what you want to accomplish, is more effective than talking against something or about whatever you want to avoid. Initiative conversations propose something new, something we may not have much experience with. Any new idea must compete with all the things that we are already working on. That is why new ideas are quickly forgotten, even by people with the best of intentions. For this reason, initiative conversations need to be repeated regularly and frequently. Say them at the beginning of project meetings to remind people the what and why of the project. Say them again at the end of the project meetings to put whatever happened at the meeting into context. And repeat them again when you make requests so that people know what you are making the request for. Whenever people seem confused or hesitant about what they are doing, it is better to remind them of the initiative conversation. It refreshes the context for their work. Complete and appropriately used initiative conversations will help reduce the barriers to workplace success. These conversations support effective teamwork and planning by making the big picture and the time frame for accomplishment clear to everyone. They also support the other productive conversations, making them more effective in engaging people, getting them into action, and completing the steps of your ideas. In summary, an initiative conversation starts something new. It provides a positive future for what you want, plus a context for subsequent actions. They are the strong foundations for the understanding, performance, and closure conversations that are still to come.